I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard, but there is a huge update coming to mods very soon. It's going to be a soft update within a couple hours of me recording this video. But here I'm going to read the announcement that they made. Here's what they said. Mods feature update. Mods will be unlocked for mechs when they hit rank 6 only. So now you'll have to get a mech to rank 6 to buy mods for it on any new account. When this first was released, when the news was first released, I initially thought it was going to be changed on all accounts, so we wouldn't be able to buy mods even for a rank 5 mech anymore. Like say you got Surge from the Gear Hub, or I have just unlocked Surge from the Gear Hub on my free-to-play account. I wouldn't be able to get mods for it until I ranked it up, which would be a big pain, and it will be for players who do have this update. But for all accounts that are over 30,000 XP and have mods unlocked as a feature, there's actually going to be no change on your account, so that's pretty interesting. Typically updates like this, they do change it for all accounts, but this time you're just going to keep the feature that you have unlocked, which is good news for basically all of you. So this doesn't directly affect you, but it's more of a topic, something to consider with changes in the future, or future changes to mods, and more why they actually did this change. But here's what they say. This is kind of their reasoning for it. Since launching mods, we've been watching their impact in Mech Arena, listening to your feedback, and making changes accordingly. Which is not super true, because they haven't really changed much of anything. The main problem with mods is that they are too expensive, and they've barely done anything about that. They did decrease the price of the Perimeter and Blockade ML mods like a little bit after release, which they never mentioned, and I don't know if everyone even noticed, but they did decrease the price a bit. But other than that, they haven't done anything with the pricing. They did reduce the amount of mods bots have, which was good, because bots had probably too many mods at first. But yeah, other than that, they haven't really done anything. While mods did provoke a change in battle tactics, we recognize that the feature is a better fit for more experienced players. Mods will now unlock later in the game, being way later in the game, like a year into playing is when you're going to get rank 6 mechs, at least as a free-to-play, when you hit the progress requirements. You'll still need to reach 30,000 XP to unlock the feature, which is irrelevant now, because you'll obviously get that, but now you also need your mechs to reach rank 6 before you can install mods of them. The necessary changes have already been made to our bot population, so I haven't noticed a change in bot mods, but apparently now only rank 6 bots and above have any mods, which is probably a fine change. It makes bots a little less strong, but of course you're not going to have that benefit of having mods unless, of course, like most of you, you already have an account created that already has unlocked mods. So yeah, they don't give a great reason, but they're kind of saying they're responding to our feedback, which a lot of people said that bots mods ruin the game, which that's your opinion if you think that, but I don't know that removing mods from the game, essentially what this does is it reverts the 1 to, I don't know, around 7 or 8 KSPs when you get like full rank 6 max and stuff. Before that, we're going to have the old meta, which is the railgun meta. I mean, right before mods were released, we were going to get the railgun 8, and it was going to become a triple railgun hanger meta. That's what we were going to have, but before the railgun 8 was released, we got mods, so railguns became instantly irrelevant, so, now they're worthless, essentially. But before you get to this rank 6 level, more specifically, before you're fighting enemies at this rank 6 level, you're going to still have that burst damage meta. So the game is going to change drastically once you hit enemies and yourself having mods. And you're going to have to change up, your whole hanger, which is not ideal. It's going to mean that you either have to build a hanger to play at mid-game or build a hanger to play at end-game. And, potentially players are going to want to stay at a certain SP where their hanger feels good, because they know that if they keep continuing to level things up, they're going to get to that higher SP that is just not going to, their current hanger, which is more for the old burst meta without mods, is just not going to perform well in the mods meta, which is now going to, it's not going to change endgame, but it's going to change the mid-game drastically. It's going to be interesting to see. Although it is a huge feature to unlock, again, a year into playing, that's pretty interesting for the game to change so drastically, because it hasn't before. You unlock pilots, you unlock mods pretty soon. I think pilots are 1000 XP now. You unlock, I guess, new mechs, but you can get to tier 6 pretty quickly, a lot quicker than a rank 6 hanger. So some of the biggest issues with this is, again, progression. You're going to kind of have to switch up your whole hanger if you want to keep up with the meta. Once you unlock mods, there's a new meta compared to when you don't have mods, and you can stay in the area where you don't have mods if you want to keep that meta. But if you want to keep progressing to rank 6, you're gonna have to adapt your hanger and especially your weapons, somewhat mechs, but especially weapons, to the mod meta rather than the older burst damage meta. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see players at this SP as new players come into the game and start leveling up, to 5k SP, and they have 0 mods. They literally cannot equip them. But the biggest problem I see with this, well, I'd say, when this was announced, I was like, okay, this is interesting. It feels like a change that's not necessarily beneficial, but it's not necessarily bad, right? Except for the fact that might be the biggest glaring issues in the game, which are tankers, right, and just in general matchmaking imbalance, are gonna ruin this change. So what this means is that now anyone who is a tanker can have a rank 6 nomad or a max nomad, and they can have full maxed mods on it, and the people that they're fighting, the 5Ks or whatever, can't even get mods. I mean, they can't even get the level 3 perimeter ML that everyone has, right? They won't even be able to unlock that. So this literally is a buff to tankers, because tanking is not fixed. I mean, that seems like, that's just going to destroy, if they were going to argue that this is a good change, it's going to benefit in whatever way, that makes me think there's no way this is really going to be beneficial, because it essentially is just encouraging tankers. It's going to make tankers have an insane advantage. I mean, mods increase at the SP cap by thousands of power. They're so strong, and now the people who are getting tanked on the most, which is everyone below like 8k, is literally not going to be able to use them. And then only the 8k people who are all tanking, to win tournament and stuff, with maxed or 6-star max with OP, revokers and such, they're gonna have mods as another, way to keep their mech alive. I mean, I don't know how this will change tanking, but I assume it's gonna be far worse than it has been. You can't get mods for your new mechs, and you fight guys who have maxed mechs with the top meta revokers on literally like Surge and Nomad against you, and they have mods. Like, you literally will not be able to kill them. Like, honestly, you probably won't. And then just in general, the matchmaking, imagine this, right? So you're gonna, be building up your hanger if you're one of these new accounts, new players who can't get mods until they get to rank 6 mechs. Right when you get your first, second, third rank 6 mechs, your power is going to jump up more than it used to, right? When you rank it up, you get power. When you add stronger weapons with the energy capacity, you get power. When you get your pilot on a stronger mech, I believe it gives you more power as well. But now you're going to also get mods. So there's just going to be more of this power gap between, rank 5 and rank 6 players, because mods are in an addition. Like, the strongest mods give like 1,000 SP at max. Of course, that's the max level, but it's still going to be, I think it's around 500 a mech. Is, pretty typical for like a more free-to-play loadout of mods. 500 power. I don't know how that's going to change the matchmaking, but I definitely see, like, there's a potential for that to cause some more issues where you're like, the matchmaking is kind of scuffed. And if you're good, I mean, when you're pretty skilled at the game and you tend to win battles against stronger opponents, you get put up against stronger ones. And once you start fighting mods at mods on rank 6 mechs with, higher level stuff, because they've been playing for longer and have rank 6, and you're at rank 5, the difference there is just going to be so huge. I mean, I don't know, it's going to be really hard to compete. So playing at that SP is going to be rough, I imagine, because your opponents are either your same level, 5-star, or 6-star with mods, right? So there's going to be something there happening with the matchmaking. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see, because it will take until these new, only new accounts that are made after this update, or accounts that have just been made. I mean, it takes literally 1 day probably to get to 30,000 XP, or 2 days, which is when every new account now will have unlocked it. But after this, it's going to take until we get 5-star hangers, or 4-star hangers of new accounts. So it'll take a couple months for us to see the results of this. To see exactly how it affects new players, but it can't be a good thing. I mean, it'll be something exciting to unlock, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be more of a struggle for especially free-to-play players who just can't get rank 6 mechs, and they're going to have to fight against all of us who have mods too. They're going to come to the game. All of you guys, watching this video, essentially everyone here has an account, right? If you have an account and you've played at all on it, basically, you're going to keep your mods. You can unlock mods for all the mechs in the game. If you unlock a new mech, it literally does not affect your account, but for any new players, they're going to have to fight all of us who have mods. Like my free-to-play account, good news for all of us, right? We're going to have an advantage. I mean, they cannot get mods, and we can get as many as we want, leveling up as much as we want. That's probably going to be another form of tanking, to have high-level mods on low-level mechs against maybe a little higher level mechs to equal out the SP that the mods give, but the difference of mods versus a rank up or something, you'll be able to tank like that probably. I mean, there's just a lot of issues that this can cause because of tanking and, SP dropping and just general imbalance in the matchmaking. So, there's not a very obvious reason for them to have done this, other than just like, people complained about mods, so they're kind of just removing them from the early game. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. If you want to make an account, you can now play like without mods in the game. Like you won't fight bots with mods, you won't fight flares with mods within, again, several months. All those lower SP players, I mean, within 2 years, none of them will have mods essentially, because everyone who has mods right now will have quit or, progressed to 6-star. Where everyone else has mods too. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. We will have to wait a while, and we're not going to see like any impact right now. But yeah, if you were thinking about inviting your friends to play Mech Arena with you, hopefully you've done it by now, because it will be rough to play without mods. But I suppose it's probably, well, maybe a good thing that they've allowed all of us who already have mods to keep them, because it would be a little unfair for us to have invested and not be able to like upgrade them. I don't imagine they would have had us unequip them, because that would be ridiculous. But it's not ideal for them to have just removed it from all new accounts. It's not going to be fair. But again, we'll really have to wait and see exactly how it affects the game. I imagine most of us won't see too much of a change, because we all have mods, right? But all the new players are going to see all of us with mods and be curious, why can't they get them? And it's definitely going to be a complaint people have, is it's unfair that all these old players have mods and we don't, which to some extent is true. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Just comment anything you think about this change in the comments. I know, most people aren't super happy about it, which is pretty fair, but it's also not the worst update ever. It's not like they increased the price of mods or something. So yeah. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, just drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. You can also now become a channel member if you really want to help support my channel. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.